A new law intended to drive down school uniform costs for parents comes into effect next month. State schools will be forced to remove unnecessary branded items from their uniform requirements, and this will allow parents to buy a wider variety of clothes or purchase second-hand uniforms. Well, joining me now is Kate Hardcastle, school uniform expert and MBE for business services to the fashion industry. And Kate, this will make such a huge difference to parents, particularly in this current climate with the cost of living crisis.
Significantly. Hi, Vanessa. It's a really important topic for many households, and this year it's certainly a case that many are very concerned about this back to school period where we see advertising messages absolutely at premium. And some research last week from Start Right Shoes saying that actually a lot of families, 3/4 of families, do anticipate that they're going to buy new items. So I think it's education for the consumer in terms of what you do need to buy, making sure that you can make that uniform last the 150 days, and then over 150 days of school per year, and then actually working with the schools to help them understand just how beneficial it can be to have recycling schemes within the schools and to have advice and support for parents. Interestingly, while some schools are brilliant at this, I visited some school websites this morning, and still when you contact the uniforms page, the information directly leads to the retailers that you must buy it from and what the stipulation is in terms of what must be worn. And what would be great there is to see some advice and support for the parents that are feeling stressed out right now in terms of what they need to do when they've got a budget in mind.
But Kate, on the other side of the coin, some people will be thinking, well, hang on a minute, isn't this all about discipline and identity, making sure that those logos are there?
I'm really supportive of uniform. I think it adds so much to it. We used to work with a charity, the Diana Award, that did research just about how much it can help in terms of uniformity across all pupils. And that can then help in messaging when it comes to particularly things on anti-bullying. So I do think uniforms count. And however, I do think, having been in the fashion and textile industry, there are ways and means to make sure that you can proudly display the emblem of the school without it costing a significant amount for parents, and all at once as well. So I think if you are a parent or a household that really is worried about the uniform, contact the school, work with other parents and see what might be able to happen in terms of recycling uniforms that are out there. Don't feel under pressure to go out and buy everything from scratch every single school year. See what you can do to remedy items that you might already have. And definitely don't be afraid of actually speaking to the school proactively when they do make decisions about uniform, to explain just how you would want to buy and the levels of budget that you've got. The only way we're going to see change is the cooperation and collaboration between parents and schools to actually get something that works together. And I think this idea where it can be more affordable for families really restricts, it takes off a pressure that can be quite restrictive at this time of year.
And what is it that you're hearing from schools? How are they reacting to this? I know that parents, of course, would very much welcome this, but how are schools reacting to this?
I think schools are aware of just how important the uniform can be, and it can help with so many elements of school life. And they want to make sure that they stick to the principles in terms of the benefits of uniform. Absolutely, the people are there to educate. They're there as support and opportunity providers for children around education. And it doesn't mean that particularly uniform is paramount to them in terms of buying techniques. So there's a curve that they need to go on. But the more they can use their platform to enable parents to buy into a better uniform for the planet and also for people's budgets, they know they're going to relieve parents of a lot of stress. So I think it is that idea that we as consumers need to look after the uniform, make sure we're doing all we can to get better within our budget. I think the schools need to be realistic about the requests that they do make of parents and be more supportive of those parents that might find the budget challenging. It's about £100 on average per child per school year. So whilst you get a significant amount of wares out there, over 150, I think nearly 190 days in most school years, I do think it still all seems to come at once. It's this period, Vanessa, where it's August and the pressure really seems to be on, particularly after holidays. So I think it's just how can they work to make sure that the uniform system they've got encourages recyclability. A lot of great things about uniform is they tend to be made of really long-lasting materials, and with the right care, they can last beyond one student's life into another student's life if the right systems are put in place.
Kate, thank you for your time. Kate Hardcastle, school uniform expert and also MBE for business services to the fashion industry. Always great to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you.